Cold takes.
If they don't make it to the finals, then this might be one of the biggest L's in NBA history.
Hot topics.
All right, well, I want to give you an apology. Tyrese Halliburton may have proved me wrong.
The best analysis.
But Jokic, he might be the best player in the league this season. He really might be the MVP.
This is the Full Court Report.
And we're back.
Oh, yeah.
What is this, episode 9 now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. My math
Episode
is
9.
correct.
If it is correct, Toby's back after a brief hiatus last week.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
It was a load management thing, you know. He's not built to play all 82 games. That's all
right.
it is.
But when I do play, I play. I come to play.
Yeah, he's like the Ben Simmons of the Full Court Report,
Okay.
basically.
All right. All right. We're off to a rough start.
But he's back. We're back. We're happy to be here. And yeah, we got quite a bit of news. But we got to start with this. I feel like it's probably easier to start with this. Some tough news that we got on Monday. The Hall of Famer Dikembe Mutombo, he passed away at the age of 58. Yeah, man. I mean, tough day in sports on Monday for all the baseball guys out there, guys and gals. Pete Rose also passed away. So just a rough day in sports on Monday. But I don't know. I mean, I figure we, bring that up, pay our respects. And I don't know if you guys have any overall thoughts on Mount Mutombo as one of his many nicknames. Either of you.
Guy's a dog, NBA's first global ambassador. He was a Special Olympics ambassador, and he was the founder of NBA Africa, the African Basketball League. I don't know what exactly it's called, but guy did a lot for his country of the Republic of the Congo. And there's a couple other players. First guy that comes to mind, I know I've talked about him on the show before, Luol Deng. Got a couple of guys of African descent doing a lot for their home country, trying to expand the game of basketball to other parts of the world.
Absolutely. Tobe?
I mean, one of the greatest defenders of all time. 4-time DPOY. Iconic block celebration with the finger wag, which we still do to this day. And I was looking at his stats. Guy was a rookie at age 25, but he still played for 18 seasons, which is just like insane. But even besides how good he was at basketball, he was just as good of a person. Being a global ambassador, he used to take trips to, Africa, Somalia, and stuff like that. And I think he studied to become like a doctor. So he just was, somebody that wanted to help other people. As a player, is he the greatest African player of all time?
Oh, I mean, if you consider like Hakeem, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
But, I mean, he's probably up there as one of the best. I mean, it's not like he's not in that conversation. But,
No, I was tripping. I was tripping on Hakeem.
It happens.
Well, he's up there. And, I got him right here. Only played one season with the Nets, but it was a good season. I think they made the finals. So rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, man. I mean, you're right, Toby. One of the best defenders ever. I think that's kind of really what stands out about his game. And me being like a Nuggets fan, I try and learn my history about the franchise. And I don't know, dude, this guy was absolutely incredible in Denver. It's, one of the, I guess, iconic moments of his career was in Denver. The Nuggets were an ace seed against the number 1 seed Seattle Supersonics. You know, the teams like with Gary Payton, Sean Kemp, etc. And they came back from a 2-0 deficit. Back then, it was a best-of-5 series, I guess, in the earlier rounds. So a 2-0 deficit is essentially like, in a lot of cases, like what a 3-0 deficit is now. But the Nuggets, they were the youngest team in the NBA that season, with Dikembe kind of leading the way. And over those final 3 games that they all won to, again, overcome a 1-8 playoff matchup, he averaged 7.3 blocks per game. like a ridiculous, like, game-changing rim protector, honestly. Like, one of, if not the best of all time. So I don't know. Like you guys, like, we had talk about his playing career for hours, but like, he was just a great person. Like you said, Justin, like, just a great, like, humanitarian, did a lot of work in his country. I think he also did a lot of work with the Special Olympics as well.
Mhm.
So just, like, you know, again, like, a fantastic person, giving back to his community and such. But yeah, man, rest in peace, Dikembe. You're a legend to the game. And yeah, man.
Gone too soon.
Yeah, it really is tragic, but he definitely made an impact while he was here.
58 years old.
Yeah.
That's way too young.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks that we never, like, I mean, we didn't really get to see him play. At least I didn't get to see him play because we were too young. But I always remember that Geico commercial where he's blocking all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorites.
I know, man. He's just a funny guy, great guy, everything.
Funny guy.
But yeah, man. Figure we hit on that before we get to our well, in a lot of people's minds, I guess this was kind of like the biggest story of the past week or so. The New York Knicks, they traded for a cat, a literal cat, Karl-Anthony Towns.
Yeah.
He is heading to New York in a trade that will also send Julius Randle, a longtime New York Knick, and Dante DiVincenzo to Minnesota. And this was like a 3-team trade. Charlotte was also part of this trade. They got like a few second-round picks and some players, I think, from both teams. So they kind of helped facilitate it. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously a huge trade. Karl-Anthony Towns, you know, multiple-time All-Star, Minnesota. They just got to the conference finals with Cat and Ant-Man. But damn, Justin, I feel like you deserve to go first. Obviously, I mean, we see your virtual background. What is your? I mean, how you feeling, man? What is going through your head as a Knicks fan?
So, I wrote down my notes as soon as I read it. I wrote down exactly how I was feeling when I read the report, and then I wrote down my next day thoughts, and I'll go over how I'm feeling right now. So, my initial thoughts on the trade was, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We had a nice little thing going. Julius Randle was playing all NBA level for us. I felt like we had a good enough roster to compete for a championship. And then we did him dirty. We shipped him out of here. You know, he was kind of the foundation for what we have now. You know, he was our franchise player for a hot moment up until, you know, we got Brunson, basically. And, you know, he stuck around through some terrible, terrible times playing for the Knicks. And then as soon as we're good enough to make a run, we ship him out of there. We do him dirty. We ship him out. We never got to see the Nova Knicks in full force. And there were reports, I don't know if this was the day of or day after or whenever. There were a couple of reports that said Dante DiVincenzo was not going to be, he was not fond of the idea of coming off the bench or having a reduced role with the team. And I don't know what day it was exactly, but those reports ended up being fabricated, just completely fabricated. Dante DiVincenzo came out, I think it was with the New York Post, and said that he was excited to play with Mikal Bridges. He was excited to have the whole Nova Knicks together as a team. And I think honestly now I'm a little bit more disappointed that we got rid of Dante than we did with Julius. Just I don't know. At first, at reading the report, I was not happy with it. I was not a fan of the trade. I feel like for both ends, I feel like the Timberwolves did Cat dirty. He's been there since he got drafted in 2014, just made a conference championship, and then they ship him out of there too when they're on track for competing for a championship. So, I think it's just I feel like for both teams, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, man. They had no issues other than Karl-Anthony Towns maybe could have played better in that conference championship. But yeah, I was not a fan of it the day of the report. But now I'm thinking we still did Randall dirty. We definitely did Randall dirty, bro. We never should have traded him. But they couldn't agree on a contract extension, Randall and the Knicks. They apparently they'd been talking about it for months since basically the season ended, and they couldn't agree on a number. So I guess that had a big part to doing it. But realistically, logically speaking, the roster is a lot more like solidified, and the minutes rotation is a lot more balanced. I guess it makes more sense because the whole thing, basically since losing Hartenstein, the whole thing for the Knicks was we got to get a big man, like an actual big, because Mitchell Robinson's also injured. So, that helps with that. But now I feel like we need a little bit more wing depth. Like we do have Josh Hart, OG, Mikal, but they're all going to be starting. So we also did sign Marcus Morris. I think last episode I said Markieff Morris. Marcus Morris, we signed him to an Exhibit 10 deal and then waived him. So he's not going to be there anymore. But just earlier today, there was a report that we signed TJ Warren to an Exhibit 10 deal. So he's going to show up to training camp. We'll see how he's doing. And maybe he gets a roster spot. Maybe he doesn't. I hope he does. I hope he does instead of Landry Shamet. I'm not a fan of Landry Shamet.
I was just about to say I'm a big fan of TJ Warren.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little stint with the Nets. He was okay, but
I don't know what team he was on during the bubble. I think he was with the Pacers still.
yeah.
He had a crazy game in the bubble.
That guy had a crazy 10 games. That guy was just that guy looked like Michael Jordan.
The bubble, man. That was some season.
But yeah, I don't know. On it still. It's exciting, the Knicks being, just in the headlines. Everybody's talking about them. It feels good. It feels good to get this attention. But
everybody's always talking about the Knicks.
Yeah, come on.
Not when we're stinking. Nobody wants to talk about them.
Well,
but
I think as a
you go.
A biased Nets fan,
unbiased as an unbiased, or
I am biased, but I'm
being biased.
I'm talking from an unbiased standpoint.
Okay.
From a logical standpoint, and I was clear on this the day of the trade. I think this was a W for the Knicks.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
And my bias comes into play a little bit because I wasn't the biggest fan of Randall. I just felt like sometimes he had an attitude issue. If we have it, make a mistake on offense or whatever, he'd kind of just jog over on defense, not give it his all. And I think with Tibbs as the coach, I don't think that translates well, and he probably wasn't a fan of that. I agree with you. I think both players got screwed. Both players went through it with their individual teams. Cat on the Timberwolves, he saw some rough times with them where they had a hard time winning games, and same with Julius Randle. But this is the new NBA. Teams do players dirty and players do teams dirty. And it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And it's the way it's going to continue to go. But Karl-Anthony Towns has some experience with Tibbs. They played together. He probably knows his strengths and stuff like that. You guys got a solidified star. Stats wise, I guess you could say it's pretty similar, but Cat being one of the best 3-point shooters in the league as a big man, I think is huge. Overall, we're in an era where, people like to talk about winners and losers. I think both teams kind of won with this trade, especially due to the fact that the Timberwolves got DiVincenzo. I feel like they were kind of, they needed another guard, I guess. And, Julius Randle. But I feel like, Justin, I think you're a little too, I don't know, pessimistic about the move, especially on the day of. You were going in on Cat a little bit.
I was hating. I mean, the only thinking about it now, Julius Randle and Jalen Brunson are both very ball dominant players. Julius Randle needs the ball in his hands to get his points. Jalen Brunson needs the ball in his hands to get his points. Karl-Anthony Towns, he's a bucket getter, but he's fine with, catch and shoot, having the ball dumped off to him to make a quick, easy play. Like, he's not ISOing. He definitely can, but that's not what he's doing all game like Julius Randle is. So I feel like, just fit wise, it might be a W trade for the Knicks. And honestly, I think the Timberwolves, just like you said, Toby, it's a W for both teams because the Timberwolves now have an actual power forward next to Gobert. And then they have their guard depth, which DiVincenzo, man, he hit one of the most historic shots in Knicks history. And that's saying something, bro. So, Timberwolves got two dogs. They got two dogs out of this trade. I don't think Julius Randle's, attitude and his antics, I don't think it's going to stop. But I think it's a W for both teams. I'm still just a little salty because I used to give Randle his fair share of hate, but that guy was really like the cornerstone piece, bro. He really got us out the mud, man. Like, he took, he was all NBA probably I think he was all NBA the last 3 seasons that he played for the Knicks, other than, last season when he got hurt. And I don't know, man. I'm just kind of like a little butthurt, I guess. I'm a little salty. My dog Randle, he's out of there, bro.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely hard to watch a player like him leave that's been there for a while. But I'm curious because you said Minnesota gets like an actual power forward in Randle. And I'm like, I think why I like this trade for the Knicks, and I also like for Minnesota, but for the Knicks in particular, I think even if you didn't think Cat was like great playing next to Gobert last season, the team was still successful, and he like kind of showcased that he can play next to a center. So to me, it's like, not only is he going to be your starting center probably game 1, but when Mitch comes back, you can still play him with Mitch. And It's not going to be like, it's not really going to throw things out of order. If anything, it'll make you better. And then that moves someone, probably not OG, but, maybe like Josh Hart.
Yeah, probably.
And he starts coming off the bench. And that just boosts your, second lineup. But I don't know, man. I like the trade for both teams, but what are you gonna? It's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be a fun season.
I want to say this too, as an NBA fan, this like came way out of left field. Like, I did not see this coming, and I think it's crazy to me that nobody, like, apparently they've been talking about this all off season, and there was no rumors. Nobody was even,
Oh no, there were rumors, Toby. You're just a casual. You weren't paying attention.
I mean, I didn't hear
I
anything.
saw posts about it during the playoffs last year saying that we were trying to make moves for Cat.
But did you know that they were going to get rid of Julius Randle?
I assumed that's who they would have to get rid of because who else would they have traded for Karl-Anthony Towns?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, I feel like guys like Cat have. I mean, it is crazy. I think this is the first time. It's obviously the first time Cat's been traded, but I'm pretty sure this is also the first time Julius Randle has been traded because when he left LA, he signed in New Orleans and then he's then signed with the Knicks. So it's weird that both of these guys are kind of going through that for the first time. Cat, I feel like I don't know if he means more to Minnesota, but I mean, he's just been there longer. He's a number 1 pick. So it's just crazy. But I do like this from a Minnesota standpoint in the sense that I feel like last year Minnesota was like almost too defensively slanted to where it was like their defense was incredible, but there were also games where like Ant-Man, if he didn't drop like 40 points, they weren't going to win because no disrespect to the guys in their starting lineup, but like Jaden McDaniels and Gobert as like 2 guys in your starting lineup, that's not a lot of like shot creation, scoring, period. And if Cat's not having a good game, then it really is just Ant-Man like carrying the load offensively. So now I feel like you get Randall, who, like you said, Justin, is like a, kind of a, in a weird way, like a more, like better with the ball in his hands, even though he's like a power forward. And DiVincenzo coming off maybe his best season, like, of his career. And that's saying a lot because he's had a lot of great seasons. But, another guy who's just like, another good shot creator, great just knockdown shooter in general. But, it's, again, I think it makes both teams, I think it's going to work for both teams. I think, obviously, they got to stay healthy. Both of these players were hurt last year. Cat, played in the playoffs, but he was hurt for a large portion of the regular season. So, they both kind of got to stay healthy, but I feel like it can work for both teams. I don't know.
Let me ask you guys this. Do you think the Timberwolves can get back to same place that they were last year, Western Conference Finals?
I can never tell with the West, bro. It changes every year. You never know who's going to be nice in the West. You never know who's going to be mediocre. Like, it's too hard to tell in the West.
Yeah, I think OKC, instantly comes to mind to me as like a huge competitor. You can't count out Dallas. They just got to the finals. Like, regardless of what you think of the moves that they made, like with Klay Thompson and, some of the players they got rid of, it's, you can't count out a team that just made the finals. And then the Nuggets, I think, are going to be in the conversation as well. So it's like, maybe. And then, there's a handful of other teams that, like Phoenix, like maybe they figure it out. The Lakers, maybe Bronny James is like rookie of the year.
Nah. All right. Nah.
But but I don't know. I mean, I think Minnesota is, definitely in that top tier of teams, but they got to, make the chemistry work. That's really all it is.
I saw, I can't remember the guy's name. Some guy on Instagram, just one of those funny guys. It was him, oh no, it was a video of Kendrick Perkins. It was a video of Kendrick Perkins dribbling in like somebody's driveway. Have you guys seen that video?
Yeah.
They were like Julius Randle when Anthony Edwards is asking for the ball for the final shot of the game to win it, and then it's just Kendrick doing his thing, and it's like that is so. The amount of times I've seen that watching the Knicks, this guy Randle just thinking that he's like T-Mac or something like.
Justin, weren't you always the guy that was saying Randall was like blowing games, or he was always missing the game-winning shot?
Oh yeah, no, there were definitely times where Randall was selling down the stretch, but I think that was a lot before Brunson got there, so it was just kind of him doing it on his own. Like it was him and RJ and like quickly, it was like that group. Like he needs to be taking the final shot, but I don't know. It was gross looking sometimes watching that guy play.
Yeah, man. I don't know. And the Tibbs aspect is interesting to me too, because like you said, Toby, he coached in Minnesota for 3 seasons. And this was from when Cat was 21 years old. This was his second season in the NBA. And then, he was there for 3 years. So basically his age 21 to age 23 years. Cat's going to be entering his age 30 season this year, which is so crazy. But I feel like Thibodeau's getting a different Karl-Anthony Towns than what he saw earlier in his career. Like I don't know. Just from what I watched last season, I felt like he was kind of getting a little too much disrespect for his defense. Like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, this whole thing of Cat at power forward, like him trying to defend," because a lot of power forwards nowadays are pretty mobile, right? Like a lot of teams are playing smaller. They might play like Paul George at power forward or something, or like, I don't know, Jimmy Butler. Like just because teams can do that. But I felt like Cat kind of held his own against a lot of like kind of wing players like out on the perimeter. I think he moves his feet a little bit better than people give him credit for him being, 7 feet tall. But I think to start the season, he gets to play center again. So I think you'll get to see like what he can do in both positions. So it'll be interesting. And I think the Knicks, I think they're going to go as far as Brunson leads them, in my opinion.
I agree.
But yeah, I don't know. Anything else? Minnesota. I mean, just to touch on Minnesota in their roster, just in general now, I really like what they have. Obviously, you have Ant-Man, Jaden McDaniels, Gobert, still there. Naz Reid, who's the 6th man of the year. And then they drafted Rob Dillingham, who's I feel like a kind of a fan favorite of a lot of guys in the draft this year. Like, just a great, just fun offensive player, really. And they also got Joe Ingles in free agency. Very underrated signing. I don't know if he's going to do anything insane, but I don't know. Minnesota. I feel like like I said, I think they're kind of trying to get back some offense with all the moves that they've made. I feel like they're trying to lessen the load on Ant, which is, I mean, I'm not saying Ant can. I mean, Ant almost got them to the finals last year, so not saying he couldn't have done it, but I think it'll help him especially. But yeah, big trade. Season's going to be here before we know it. On Friday, that's when the preseason kicks off. The Boston Celtics and the Denver Nuggets will be playing one another, and I believe Minnesota and the Lakers. So get to tune in, watch some preseason, see what some lineups are looking like, see some new coaches, JJ Redick, see what he's doing. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we are like really almost here, boys. Season is here.
Crazy.
But
that's why it's so fast.
Yeah. But I wanted to, because it was NBA Media Day on Monday, so I wanted to quickly touch on some quotes that I saw from Media Day from all the teams and just kind of get your quick thoughts on some of these. So I want to start with the Bucks. Giannis said that he and Damian Lillard were not able to get together at all this offseason. They didn't work out. I'm not sure why. These obviously, they play basketball, but they're also just very busy individuals. But it is interesting. You would think a team, that had the season the Bucks just had this past year, you would think they kind of want to try and develop some chemistry. They still want to compete for a title. So my question, do you guys think the Bucks will finish as a top 6 seed in the Eastern Conference this season?
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, I think though, I I think they're going to be a lot better than they were last year, just due to just with the fact that they have some playing experience now. I don't think it's a huge deal that they didn't get together this offseason. They're two superstars, or they got things going on. They're busy. I think they'll probably figure it out early this year. I think they're going to be a top 6 seed for sure, especially in the East.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like to look at things, not, I don't want to say like a little deeper, but I like to get the juices flowing, the brain juices flowing. I don't know, Toby. I don't think it's a good look that the two best players on the team didn't even like say what's up to each other during the offseason. Like they didn't get together one time. Like I don't know. I've seen a lot of clips of Dame specifically since he was traded to the Bucks, and Dame's like a real, he's got I don't know, he's a very serious demeanor about him. The guy doesn't really joke around too much. The guy doesn't really even smile too much. I don't know, dude. It kind of seems like that guy does not want to be in Milwaukee. Like the guy does. It seems like that guy is not having a good time there. From what I can see, from how like he talks about being there, he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Milwaukee, let's get, let's try and win some. But
I mean, it's probably more. I mean, he came from a small market team, so it's like, it's not like he was playing in New York and then he got traded to Milwaukee or something like that.
Yeah.
I just think he just doesn't care about where he plays as much as how successful they are or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
You're right.
I
just like to speculate. I like to speculate.
I don't like to
Mhm.
speculate. I just like to,
See what
they're
happens.
two superstars. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Cat and Brunson. I mean, Cat just got traded, so they haven't talked to each other at all this offseason, as far as I know. They're gonna have to figure things out,
Yeah.
during the season and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks they're gonna be a contender.
It's a good point, Toby.
Yeah. Very good point.
But yeah, no, I mean, I just asked that because, something I heard, figured let's discuss.
What do you think?
The East is going to be interesting. I mean, like, Boston, that's one. I think probably going to finish ahead of the Bucks. New York, everything goes right. I would say yes. Philly, everything goes right. I would say probably yes. And then that's already 3 teams, so you're looking at your 4 seed. Like, is Orlando? Are they going to be like really good again? Is Indiana going to be really good again? I think so. Is Cleveland going to be good again?
No,
like that's
no,
a lot of teams.
No, Cleveland.
So
Cleveland's good. They're a regular season team, bro. They don't have what it takes to finish in the playoffs.
we'll see.
They've been getting smacked around every year since they got Donovan Mitchell, bro.
I think the East is going to be pretty competitive this year. I don't know if any one team is going to win. Like, I don't know. That would be an interesting experiment to guess like what the number of games is to win the conference. You know what I mean? Like how many wins do you need to get? But I think I don't know. I think yes. I'm gonna say yes, but I'm gonna say barely.
Really?
That's my prediction. I think I feel like they have a lot of issues on that roster, and unless Doc Rivers has like a coaching masterclass and Giannis is like the MVP, I don't know. I don't know how I see this team faring next year.
Guy said Doc Rivers coaching masterclass. You're funny.
Well, I want to keep moving along here because I have 5 quotes. So we got a few teams to discuss here. Klay Thompson, first media day with the Dallas Mavericks. He says Dallas has all the ingredients for a championship. So, is he right? Can they win a championship this season?
I'm gonna let you go, Toby. I want to hear what you have to say.
Well, if anybody knows anything about championships, it's Klay.
Ooh, I like that. I like how you started that. Okay.
think I'm gonna agree with Clay. I like the Mavs. I mean, like you guys said, it's so hard in the West because it's any team like the Thunder. Who knows how good the Timberwolves are gonna be, but I mean, it's hard to say that the Mavericks got worse after they just made a championship. Um, I'm so excited to watch that team. I think, you know, I think they have what it takes. I'm gonna say it now. I think they have what it takes. I think they can at least make it.
All right.
I agree, but I reluctantly agree because I've never really been the biggest fan of Luca. I don't know why. I don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't know. He just plays like such a white guy, bro. Like I don't know. Like I don't
Oh,
know. He's just I don't know. I think he's a clown. They got that clown over there, Kyrie, and everybody. I don't understand how everybody doesn't hate Clay as much as I do because I really hate that guy with a passion.
Wow.
But they did just make the finals and they got better. So, you know, it's their, it's theirs to lose, honestly. They picked up Clay, they picked up Spencer Dinwiddie, who, I mean, he's a serviceable point guard. And I don't remember this happening last year, but for some reason I feel like it did. PJ Washington, did they trade for him last season? Did they pick him up in the
Hmm.
season? They traded
Yeah,
for
they
him?
traded for him last year.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like a
And
big part of their finals run.
yeah, and my boy Derek Lively the second, bro. That guy he's gonna have a great season. I can feel it in my bones that guy's gonna have a great season.
I
don't
mean,
forget
yeah,
that last year was Kyrie's first like full season on that team. I mean, he played a
I
little
mean,
bit like the year before, or whatever, but it's when we're talking about like, you know, chemistry building and stuff. I think I think Kyrie's gonna be even better than he was last year.
Kyrie and Clay. I didn't even realize that. I didn't even think about that, dude. Is that you think that's gonna be a good combo?
I think so. I think so.
I don't know, dude. There might be some beef in practice, I feel like.
Nah,
dude,
no
I
way.
I really liked this Mavericks team last year. I think it took a lot of people to see it because they didn't want to believe it until they did it in the playoffs. But I don't know. I felt like this team was so well built. Kyrie was like, in a weird way, I feel like more of a facilitator than Luca at times. Like Luca is the one of the best scorers in the NBA. I think he might have led the NBA in scoring last year, but he was like Kyrie was just controlling so many games for them, and he just looked like so much of like a really solid like run your offense point guard, but was also doing Kyrie things like hitting ridiculous layups and shots off the dribble. So like that backcourt was maybe the best in the whole league. And then like you said, Justin, they traded for PJ Washington last year, who like came in was like a great just small forward, power forward for them. And then Derek Lively had a fantastic rookie season. Kind of got, I guess, overshadowed by what Wemby was doing, but like was also fantastic. And then Daniel Gafford was like basically they interchanged them at center, and there was no difference. Like I just felt like they had a really well built team, but they did lose Derek Jones Jr. He was like a big part of their team, but they essentially replaced him with Clay. So like not the same player, but it's going to be a different look. And I don't know, it's Klay Thompson. Like until that he retires, he just has the respect of a shooter. Even if he's not shooting the ball well, coaches are still going to be like, you have to close out on this guy, right? Like it's Klay Thompson. Like I don't know what to tell you. We're not going to like if Klay Thompson hits 7 threes in this game, we lose. Like that's going to be a problem. And that's doable. But yeah, it's going to be so interesting watching him play with Luka and Kyrie because Steph, his whole career, it's like one thing because Steph is just somehow a better shooter and defenses have more attention on him. But now it's like, I feel like Clay is going to be spotting up quite a bit. I mean, who knows? But I feel like Clay's going to be spotting up quite a bit and getting a lot of like drive and kickouts and stuff like that. And it's just going to be very difficult for a lot of defenses to figure that out. So
That's why I
I'm
think it's a great
excited.
move for Clay too. I think
Yeah.
I think he fits that role perfectly. And Luka Doncic MVP season. I
No,
can see it coming.
no.
Yeah,
I can see
man.
it coming.
Jalen Brunson MVP season.
Now, keep hating, Justin. You're gonna see.
Hey man, all I know is Klay Thompson shot 0 for 10 in the closeout game.
Hey, man, it happens. Shoot or shoot, you know? That's you're going to live and die with Clay, I feel like. But all right. Next quote, John Morant, he's back after his suspension, after his injury. At media day, he said a happy jaw is a scary jaw for a lot of people. So I don't know. I mean, you can read into whatever that means, but my question is John Morant going to make all NBA? Any of the 3 all NBA teams this season?
I think he is. I think he is. I love Ja.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's gonna be a tough spot to make.
It's such a weird quote. A happy jaw is a scary jaw.
That's how I know the Grizzlies ain't doing nothing.
I mean, I'm not saying the team is going to be great, but John Morant. I mean, just like a couple years ago, people were putting him in the MVP conversation. And hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully he doesn't have any more gun issues. A lot of people are scared of Ja for different reasons. But to answer your question, Jorie, yeah, I think there's a good chance he's on one of those all NBA teams.
All right.
They
I don't
might
know.
slide him. They might slide him on the All NBA third team if he's lucky.
I feel like, I mean, he only played, I think, 9 games last year. So, like, there's really not a big sample size at all. But I did watch, I think it was his first game back, and it was against New Orleans. And immediately it was like, oh, it's Ja. Like, he's back. Like, he's just, yeah, okay. And it was crazy to watch because it's like, wow, he makes so much of a difference on this team. But, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, he has a whole off season to get ready. I mean, he should be in theory healthy, right? Like he's basically missed the whole season. So hopefully he was able to rest and everything.
Does
But-
anybody know why Ja was unhappy before? Is that what he's implying?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he needs to see a therapist or something. Who knows? Talk it out.
You guys are clowns.
But yeah, man. We'll see. I don't know. I don't really know where I stand on this one. I think it's tough. I mean, you got SGA, I think he's an all NBA guy. All things considered, Brunson should probably be an all NBA guy.
Luca, Curry,
Luka.
Halliburton.
Yeah, there's just a lot of
Curry?
guards. There's so many guards.
I don't know. Curry. The thing is, like, it doesn't matter if point guard or shooting guard or whatever. It's just, they just throw guards up there. So I think there's a spot for Ja. If he's putting up the same stuff he put up a couple years ago, I don't see why he wouldn't be all NBA player.
Yeah. We'll see. I'm excited to watch that Grizzlies team. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so this is a fun story. Lonzo Ball, he says he's going to be available for the start of this season. So he basically was like, I have a whole new knee now. Like, I guess I really don't know the ins and outs of his injury, but he basically missed the past 2 seasons. And before he left, I mean, that Bulls team was so much fun. And he was really like on a good trajectory in his career, I feel like. Like really establishing himself in the league as like one of the better defender / just good point guards in the whole NBA. But I don't know. I mean, you can talk about Lonzo, but my question is more geared toward the Bulls. Do you guys think they are a play-in team this year?
If they're lucky, because just like we said, just a couple minutes ago, the East is real tough this year. It's real top heavy. I've been saying that the East is real top heavy. They might slide in as like a 10th seed into that play-in. They might get that 10th seed spot, maybe. But who knows? Maybe Lonzo Ball is like a huge piece of this offense, and he takes them to like 7, 8, 6 seed, something like that. 8, 7, 6 seed, something like that. But I'm glad he's back. Lonzo, he's always been one of my favorite players. Guy's a hooper. One of the best fast break players in the league. Comes to just, pre-injury, the guy had wheels. He had bunnies, great, phenomenal passer. So, if they can get out and run, the Bulls are going to be exciting. But they're just kind of mid. Like, they're just kind of mid. They're all
I
right. They're
think
not a bad team. They're not a terrible team, but they're not, they're not making the playoffs, I don't think.
I agree. I think they're kind of mid, but um, in a league where so many teams make the playoffs now, I think they could definitely do it. Um, I think they're going to be teams where they're not great, but they're just going to be like fun to watch, like exciting to watch all the time. I was a huge fan of their draft pick, Matas
Yes,
Buzel.
sir.
I think that guy's going to be a dog.
Matas.
I think offensively, he's going to be, pretty good. And they still got Zach LaVine. I don't know how healthy he is, to be honest with you. Lonzo is a really fun player to watch. I don't know, a lot of his game I feel like relied on his athleticism and speed and stuff like that. So hopefully he can get that back. He was a great defender when he was playing, when he was healthy. And also, I think they got Josh Giddey as well. So say what you want about Josh Giddey. He's a pretty decent player. But
The Giddler.
yeah, we were saying before, like I think the West is better than the East, so I feel like they're gonna win a lot of games against their uh, East opponents, and I think they can. I think they can come in at that 9th seed, 10th seed. Might get eliminated in a game, but I think they're gonna be fun to watch.
They
I'm
play in a
excited.
tough division though. They got the Bucks, they got the Cavs, they got the Pacers. Like they got a lot of good teams in that division.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true. I think they're gonna be better than the Nets.
oh yeah, I think
I mean,
I think all 29 other teams are going to be better than the Nets. Toby.
nah, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say
I
that.
am saying that. I am saying that.
All right. Well, now that you mentioned that, my last quote, because I had to throw this in here. Ben Simmons.
Oh,
He said, "I think
God.
people forget me as a player. When I'm healthy, I can play basketball. I'm pretty good." So, I mean, as of right now, I haven't seen anything that says otherwise. He's on track to start game 1 for the Nets. I guess he's healthy, he's ready to play. Ben Simmons. My question, does he play 58 games this season? The reason why I chose that number is because in 3 years in Brooklyn, he's played 57 games.
Wow. Wow.
So, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you
58
think?
games, that'd be a pretty solid number for Ben.
What do you think, Toby?
I think he's gonna be. I think he's gonna be right around that 58 games played. I feel like, he might have a couple of days off just because of mental health, whatever the case may be. He might get a small injury here and there. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he can be close to the player that he was with Philly, but I just don't see it. I mean, I was watching some of his media day interviews from last year, from 2023, and that guy was saying a lot of similar stuff. He didn't, honestly, if I'm being honest, as confident as he does now. Like he sounds like a little bit more confident with how he can play and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've never been high on Ben Simmons train ever. So if he can come in, play good defense, stay healthy, pass the ball around and stuff like that, then I'll be happy. But guy's getting paid so much money this year. It's insane. I think this is a contract year. So a lot of people are saying he's going to come out and, show off what he can do and stuff like that. But I'm not too crazy about him right now.
I did see, I don't even really know what this guy like does. Like he's not a shooting coach on a team or anything, but Chris Brickley, prominent basketball figure, social media guy. He had Ben Simmons pull up to his little, facility, posted some clips of Ben hitting some shots, some distance shots. Yeah, I don't know, Toby. Everybody can shoot in the off season.
That's what I'm
Everybody
saying.
everybody can shoot in an empty gym. So, Chris Brickley said that he thinks Ben Simmons is going to have a career year, not even just like get back to the old Ben Simmons, like he's going to have the best year of his career. I don't know about all that, but I'm going to come out and say I've always been a Ben Simmons hater. He was in Philly. You can't support the Philly guys. Then he went to the Nets. Obviously, I can't support the Nets because, this guy Toby.
Wow.
But I kind of do hope he has a good season because now he's kind of like not really the underdog, but everybody else is hating on him. So, prove him wrong, Ben. Prove him wrong, Benjamin. I want to see what he can do. But that being said, I don't really know what's going to happen after this season, but I think this season he's just kind of out there to increase trade value, increase free agency value so that he can go to another team and have success. I've been seeing a lot of rumors that the Rockets are interested in Ben Simmons, and my guy No Chill Gilbert Arenas, said that he thinks the Suns should make a move for Ben Simmons. And I really like the sound of that. That would be a crazy roster. Him, Beal, Booker, KD, and Nurkic, bro, is a squad.
Ugh.
If they can pull it off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm also kind of rooting for Ben Simmons. I've always liked Ben Simmons. I feel like right before basically all of this, his last season in Philly, he was really good. I mean, basically his whole time in Philly, he was really good. But I always felt like he got a little too much hate. Everyone's like, oh, he doesn't shoot the ball. But he's also next to Embiid, who might be the best scorer in the league. So, like, what do you really want him to do? But fantastic defender in his prime as well. Made such an impact on that side of the floor. I don't know. I don't know what the Nets are playing for this year, so that's like the biggest thing. Like, is he even gonna have a motivation to like go out there and really like try and make a name for himself again? Maybe, but we'll see.
I think so. I think there's, like I said, because it's a contract year. He might try a little bit harder. He's saying he's fully healthy. He's never felt better and all this kind of stuff. I will say, back to Justin's point, Ben Simmons will never be a shooter ever. He's never going to be a 3-point shooter. But gosh, I hope I'm wrong. Ben Simmons, please prove me wrong. But the vibe that I get is he's going to be the same old Brooklyn Nets Ben Simmons that we've seen. Maybe play a little bit more games, but nothing fantastic. Good defender, triple single king.
Triple single king. Wow. Yeah, man. I don't know. It'll be fun. You guys are playing for whoever you want in the 2025 NBA draft.
Oh yeah, Cooper flag, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. But yeah, I mean that's all I got. I don't know if you guys saw anything from media day notable, but those are mine.
Jimmy Butler. He didn't come out with any kind of crazy outfits or anything like that.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
I saw, I don't know if you want to call it a report or a rumor or whatever, but I saw that Pat Riley was not, he's not too big of a fan of Jimmy Butler anymore. And I think that's why Jimmy didn't come out looking like a goofball, because he was like, this guy Pat Riley already doesn't like me. Like, let me lock in. I don't know why he wouldn't like Jimmy Butler, considering he brought him to 2 finals.
Yes.
But I don't know. They haven't really given that guy a lot of help over there in Miami. They've kind of had like the same squad for like 4 or 5 years now. Like since the bubble, they almost have probably like 80% of the same roster that they had that year. So
I mean, yeah, but you got Bam, one of the best players in the league. That's enough of a partner, I feel like, to
I
stay.
don't know. I don't think Bam's as good as people make him out to be.
Ooh,
Guy's just
That's
kind of all
crazy.
right.
That's crazy.
bold take in my opinion. I'm sorry.
He's just kind of all right. I think he's a good. No, he's a little bit better than all right. He's good. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He's really not.
Okay. But yeah, that was interesting, Toby. Jimmy Butler kind of no crazy hairdo this year, I guess. But who knows?
He's gonna be a Brooklyn Net next year.
Potentially.
There was rumors. He likes the Nets. I don't know if he's saying that for some sort of ulterior motive, but if we get him, we can get Cooper Flag. Cam Thomas comes out, gets crazy buckets. We're gonna be right back in the playoffs, baby.
Jimmy Butler, Cooper Flag, Cam Thomas, and Nick Claxton is a nice little starting lineup there
Oh
too.
yeah. And then who knows what's gonna happen with Ben? He might. I hope we get rid of him. I hope he leaves. I hope he leaves, but
Toby's over it. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It was fun. Fun media day, fun trade. And again, rest in peace to Mr. Mutombo.
Mhm.
But yeah. Anything else, guys? I don't know. That's all I got.
Well, I have a little extra segment if you guys would like to participate. A little, not, I don't want to say game show thing, but we could do a little something if you're down for it. I got a little something.
what are your
What do you say?
thoughts?
We're gonna, a little. I guess it's a game. I actually learned this from one of my kids at the Y. It's called the green glass door. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Mm-mm.
All right. Let's do it. So, only certain players are allowed through the green glass door. All right. It's just, I don't know why it's called the green glass door. That's just what it's called. Only certain players are allowed through. All right. So I'll give you a couple examples. I'll give you like 2 examples of people who can go through, and then I'll give you 2 examples of players who cannot go through. So 2 guys who can go through are Jimmy Butler and Trae Young. 2 guys who cannot go through are Jalen Brunson and LeBron. And you guys have to figure out what allows these players to go through the green glass door. What all of them have in common.
And it can be anything.
So you can, ask names. I'll tell you if they can go through.
Oh, I'm not good at this.
We'll give it a couple minutes. See if you guys can figure it out. And if you can't, then I'll just tell you. And then, we'll cap off the episode.
So it could be like they played with like the same player.
It could be, what they were drafted for, what team they play for, what kind of teammates they've had, if they've made an all-star team, like anything like that. It could be any of these things. So Trae Young can go through. Jimmy Butler can go through. Jalen Brunson and LeBron cannot go through. Those are your 4 players I'm giving you an example for.
Ah, dang. Jorie, do you have any thoughts?
Just start naming out players. If I were you, just start naming out players, and I can tell you if they go through or not. You just got to think about what all these guys
Oh,
that
I got you.
go
I got
through
you.
have in common.
So
All right.
Jalen Brunson and LeBron, that's what you said?
They cannot go through. Trey Young and Jimmy Butler can though.
Oh,
So
okay.
Trey Young and Jimmy, those
They're
other
good to
two
go.
players don't. Um,
Oh my gosh.
Steph Curry.
No, he can't.
Ah,
Oh wait.
Luca.
Nope.
Jalen Brunson. Okay. Okay. I was immediately thought of rings, but then I'm like, Brunson has a ring. Or
Brunson
doesn't have a ring.
cannot go through, Jorie. Brunson is not allowed through the
Oh.
green glass door. Him and LeBron are not allowed.
Yeah,
Steph
but
isn't.
I'm trying to find
Luka
the
isn't.
difference, you know what I mean? You know?
No, you got to look for the
Jimmy
similarities.
Butler and Trey Young.
Yeah, like I'm trying to find the difference why they're getting in.
How about Bam? Can he go through?
Yeah, yeah, Bam can go
Bam?
through.
All right.
Um, it could be divisional, Toby, because Atlanta, Miami, they're in the same division. You just said Bam.
How about
Following
Paul
me?
George?
Nope.
Ah,
You feeling me?
what'd you say?
LaMelo Ball,
Yep.
Toby, Jordan Poole,
Yep.
Toby. I'm locked in here. Come on, I know what I'm doing.
Well, do you know what it is?
Uh, I feel like I do. I gotta ask.
I
Wait,
guess you can get as many guesses as you want.
So the players I named that can't go through. No, never mind. That doesn't work.
but LeBron played in Miami. Maybe it's. All right, hold on.
How about Mike Conley?
Um, Hold on.
All right.
Nope. No, Mike Conley can't.
Is it players in the Southeast Division?
Yes, sir.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you had it. You had it real quick, Jory. I don't know how you got that so quick, bro.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, that was it.
Trey Young, Jimmy Butler, and then you said Bam, and I was like, all right, LaMelo.
And then you asked LaMelo and Jordan Poole. I was like, this guy Jory, how did he already get it? And no,
Toad.
that was it. Players who play in the Southeast Division are allowed through the green glass door. Nobody else.
All right. I like that. I like that.
I didn't think this guy Jory was gonna figure it out in 2 minutes, or else I would have made it. I would have made it harder.
Well, didn't you say LeBron James?
He's not allowed. He doesn't play for the Heat now. It's
Oh,
current.
I thought it was like any time.
No, it's
All
current.
right.
Current.
All right.
That was all. I only had the one. I only had the
All right,
one.
well,
riddle,
maybe we
so.
make it a tradition. You come back next week with the
All
different
right,
one.
bet.
Yeah, I like that. I don't think I'm gonna be very good at that, but I like it.
It's like a little Wordle almost, like
Yeah,
those, whatever, those NBA grid games or whatever. You got to like find the similarities.
yeah.
All right. Green glass door.
Yes, sir.
Now we know. All right, well. Anything else?
I'm kind of salty. You got that so quick.
Oh, trust me. You got to come with more heat next time.
All right. I didn't want to make it too hard because that's a lot of players to pick from.
We got it. Right, Toby?
All right, I'm locking in
Nah.
next year. I'm locking in next week. You guys aren't getting that.
Toby. Well, anything else? Tobe, Justin, final thoughts?
R.I.P. Pete Rose. The guy should be in the Hall of Fame. A little controversial, but R.I.P. Dikembe. Yeah, looking forward to the season. Cannot wait. It's got like a month left, a little bit less
Yeah.
than a month.
Not only did the Knicks do Randall dirty, they also kind of did Brunson dirty because that guy gave up 100 mil to play with the Nova Knicks, and then they shipped out one of the pieces. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there with that front office, but
That's Brunson's decision.
It was his decision.
If anything, he did himself dirty, and that's okay.
I don't know. I'm gonna miss Julius Randle. I'm gonna miss Dante, but I'm not gonna miss either one of them as much as I miss RJ Barrett.
Okay. All
Oh
right.
boy.
The biggest
was-
RJ hater I've ever seen.
What?
This guy used to hate. This
I
guy
used to
clown on RJ all the time.
No way. I was out here saying that guy RJ was gonna be the next T Mac.
Oh yeah, that's true. That was kind of crazy. That was kind of crazy.
Hey man, he had the size and the length. Pause. But
And that was it. And that was it. That's where the comparison stopped.
yeah, relax.
Well,
He's a great finisher. That guy RJ was a great finisher. Nobody gives him his respect that he deserves.
fun episode.
Yeah.
And by the next time we record one of these, there'll be some preseason games. So
Oh yeah.
a lot to talk about. But yeah. Another one in the books. And yeah, I guess that's it, boys. So we'll be seeing you.